Welcome back to Global Spec Racing. We had to have a restart due to some issues. Um, so everything will be the same. Weather will be the same. Custom grid. It's going to be another 50%. All of that stuff. So Davis is still here. Davis.
Hello.
So last race we had a bunch of stuff happen. We've had a couple people crash out. Apparently we had some glitches. So we decided to have a restart. But what we did see is we saw Conducted take the pole, and we saw after VC take P2, and both of them wrecked lap 1. So we'll see what happens here. Some guys did jump the start as well, so hopefully we'll have a nice, good start. As everyone is putting their setups on and changing their tires if they're outside the top 10. Remember, the top 10, unless it forces them on different tires, will have to start on softs. If you're outside of the top 10, start on any tire you want. But if you're inside the top 10, you've got to start on softs. So
This restart will help the top two, Conducted and Patrick VC, once again after the turn 1 incident on lap 1. You want to pick new favorites, as I think the game did force everybody on the inters, so that will not result in a DSQ.
And already people are getting disqualified.
Yep.
I am going to keep my predictions, as if you didn't see in the first stream. Mine were Pastor VC starting second, got pulled up by rain, had a great finish, podium finish at Bahrain as well. Starts P2, 2 tenths behind pole sitter Conducted. Can he go for a podium? Maybe even a win. And then dominant square starting P17. He was one of the guys who DNF'd the first time. But I think maybe if he can avoid some wrecks, he can at the end be up for points. And remind everyone your 2 favorites.
Well, I'm actually going to change mine. I still think Conducted, still 109.8 in qualifying. Good lap by him, 2 tenths faster than everyone else. Well, at least second. I think he can get it done if him and Patrick VC actually stay out of trouble in turn 1. And this time, I'm actually going to go with Crispy Hang. I think Crispy Hang might have a chance at a top 5 this race. Starting P9, not bad, still in the top 10. I think he might be able to get up there top 5, maybe battle for a podium position if he stays out of trouble. As the predicted strategy shows enters the whole way.
So they do think, so it is going to rain for the whole race. We didn't get to see if it was for the first time. So, grid, we have after a restart, and to get everyone back in, and to restart the whole game, 5 red lights are upon, and we are green. Patrick VC gets off the line very well. He's going to take the lead from Conducted going into turn 1. Farther on back, sliding around, some cars off track, it looks like. As we're wrecking, there's some wing damage. Shot is around. Someone doesn't have a wing. Can't tell you who. But up front.
Oh, that's a safety car.
Oh, there is a safety car.
Is that from Shot?
And another wing is gone. Looks like a Renault.
Evil
Matrix has got a 5-second. King Cali is out.
King Cali. Lewis 5 seconds.
Wow, maybe some contact. No, Lewis, right. But maybe some contact between Lewis and Callie. Took Callie out of the race. So,
I still... Dude. You go.
just like last one, we have another safety car, lap 1. This time, Patch VC and Conductor both did not wreck. However, Patch VC takes the lead up with an amazing start off the line and beats Conductor before we even hit. Great start by them.
Guys, you got the 2 Mercedes, P2 and 3. Oh, and there's a wing flying off in the back. Whose was that? It was...
It looked like maybe Rowdy
was a wing.
TJ's. Maybe? I can't tell.
Maybe one of the 2 Ferraris.
Can't tell whose it was. As Crookie, Rice, and N shot all 3 pit to repair wing damage, most likely. Already. In my eyes, backing up here, maybe. A lot cleaner and better start lap 1 than the last one. As Rowdy TJ gets 5 seconds, and so does Alex Sanchez.
Yes, this restart helps Patch for VC and Conducted way more than what it did last time, and even Alfie. Alfie got retired in that final big crash we had. So everybody in the 1st, 2nd, and 4th all got saved by the restart. Let's talk about Rowdy TJ. He's a favorite. All the other guys watching this stream everybody wants him to get a podium and thinks he will. He has been showing good speed, and I think he also might be able to have a shot at podium.
Yeah, Rowdy TJ, before we did restart, I believe was leading. Was showing what kind of speed he has. Currently riding P5. So maybe he can look to get a podium and at most, definitely a good points finish.
Rowdy
As
TJ
he
pits.
pits. Crispy Hang pits as well. So does Matrix. So maybe it was Rowdy TJ's wing that we saw, and another wing goes off. I believe that was the McLaren of Mesa, as Square has a 5-second penalty.
He's going slow on the track.
Is Rice in 5 seconds? A lot of 5 seconds getting handed here. You gotta leave the space under safety car. You can't just be riding on the gearbox. There can be just a slight checkup and boom, wing damage could be gone. Penalty, you can get a 5-second and it could end your race.
Yes.
So
8 5-second penalties have been handed out this race. 8.
And at this time, it was 10 5 seconds handed out the first one. So a little bit less, but still a little bit too much. As safety car is coming in this lap, Patch for VC will lead the field back to the green. If you are joining in, we had to have a restart. As Lewis has left the session, and if you want to invite him back. But we had to have a restart, and we are under a safety car from lap 1. There's a couple more people getting.
Crookie.
Patrick C is yet to go. He goes now.
So many 5-second penalties just got handed out. I think 5 back-to-back 5-second penalties is getting
Patch
handed out.
DC gets a great
And they're wrecking in the
start.
back, I think, are they?
They are.
No.
I think, no, not quite.
Oh, there's a wreck. Alfie takes out the Ferrari of Stevie Cat. Those two go into the gravel with each other.
And we had 5 people who did it. Currently Patch for VC, Patch for VC got a great start. And heads up to about a 6/10 lead over Conducted. We had a battle here for P5 between teammates Alpe and Sanchez. Sanchez goes off. Stevie Cat's going to go back to the inside. As these two, just like you said, had contact a little bit ago. More contact. Stevie Cat will get by. If
Yes,
you,
the rain does look like it's getting harder.
it does. It looks like it's going to be a lot harder. We just caught yellow flag. I don't know who that was.
I think it was Evil Matrix.
But if you, real quick, if you look at something interesting, 2nd through 7th are pair of teammates as Conducting its fastest lap. But you got Mercedes 2nd and 3rd, you got the Ferraris 4th and 5th, well, and you had the Williams 6th and 7th, so Sanchez pits and
Evil
gets
Matrix
a
spun.
speeding. Matrix is around.
On the front straightaway. Still makes it to pit safety.
Down the pit. Rookie also pits as well. As for the lead, it's dropped down to 4/10 between Patrick Risi and Conducted, now down to 2/10. Conducted really gained on Patrick Risi there. He's gonna look. Oh, and VSC.
Oh, VSC.
Oh, shot
That was
is out.
shot. He was having a really good race in race 1, and now bad luck strikes him.
VSC is out. Now you have, on the drivers, you gotta make sure you keep your delta in the green. There's not really, it's not really a race and drive-through penalty. As I was saying, as we're back green, you don't want to get try and do the glitch as it got repaired. Down in turn 1, Conducted.
Oh,
Patrick
Patrick
VC
VC blocks.
He's going to, as we're right now, hold off Conducted for the lead. CJ Pants has a great view on this battle, along with the Ferraris of Hank, Cushman, and Stevie Cat. I'll just crisp. As CJ Pants looked like he wanted to look for a move on his teammate, but thought better. Oh, Conductor goes wide. His teammate CJ Pants down to the inside. They're side by side for the 2nd position.
It's gonna help Crispy Hang get to that battle. So that's now a battle for the podium position with Crispy Hang and CJ. Oh, and Crispy Hang hits the back of CJ Pants. No wing damage.
Great one on pass for releasing. Bryson was going down the as Crispy Hang gets the fastest lap. Doug did try to look for a move. Stevie Cat takes it away. Harold now takes it. Here comes Conducted. Oh, run to the back behind Patch releasing.
This is a 4-car breakaway from the field. 3.1 seconds away is the second half of the field, led by Stevie Cat. Well, Stevie Cat and Alpha are also separated, so Whole field separated but the top 4.
Here goes Conducted again, trying to look for a move on the patch. That's the backer. It's gotta be, you guys. Square takes lots of slack. Good for Square. However, the battle for the lead continues. Some more contact. I think Conducted is telling Pastor VC.
Oh, there's a yellow flag in the back. Sector 1. That's a tricky around. He made contact with Lewis. Lewis is disconnected.
It's Patrick VC starting to pull away and Conducted. Behind him, his teammate CJ Pants. He's trying to get away around, his teammate. And behind him, we got Crispin. So, top 4 is separated, pretty evenly, and everyone else behind them is just multiple seconds back. Here goes Conducted.
Conducted tried. A little bit
Still
of contact.
Still trying. Trying everything he tries to do, patch for VC. Defense. Here comes Crispy Hang. He wanted to look at a move once he did it. Here he goes.
Here comes Crispy Hang. Oh, he's got him.
He clears him.
Crispy Hang takes the podium position.
CJ Pants had to mess up there. He was much slower than Crispy Hang. As Rowdy TJ decides to pit, a guy who a lot of people said could get a podium, wants to get a podium, pits for fresh enters and a new wing. And he may have served the penalty as well. He's going to come out behind.
Hits the back of patch for DC once again, and they're side by side. It's not going to make it work. Can he get him in
trying everything. Here comes Chris Bang to the outside. He's good. Sorry, inside. Oh, Conducted late braking makes it work. Chris Bang now all over the back of Conducted. As this is allowing Pastor VC to start to pull away. Now over a second gap between the top 2. Here comes Crispy to the outside. And Conductor's go again late break. Is it going to work again? It does, but Crispy tried to go with a switchback and just didn't get left enough room to make the move. Crispy is continuing on the back. We have a yellow flag.
We have a red Yankee in sector 3.
And VSC.
This VSC is going to help CJ Pants because he's used so much of his overtake. He has 8% ERS, while the rest of the top 4 has above 80.
Now the question is, do these guys, do you want to pit, get maybe some fresh enters, or maybe do you just want to stay out, and try and push more? Oh, Crispy, we are agreeing. Crispy hits the back of the Conductor. Again, Pastor VC is out to just over a second lead. Let's further on back. We got a battle. Oh, no, we don't know. Had a battle between Rowdy TJ and Sanchez. As Lewis get past Quirky for P13.
As Stevie Cat, he was 3.1 seconds off of the top 4, now 1.3 with 92% ERS. So he has an advantage on CJ Pants with 5%, while first, second, and third have above 60.
Here goes Conducted. Caught up Pat Reese. One thing to catch up, that's another to pass. He's going to use his overtake button. Bring in a little bit more. Meanwhile, behind him, Crispy Hane. Who gets a little bit too much curb. Lose him about a tenth or two.
Oh, and Conducted hits the back of Patrick BC, moves them up the track, and Conducted hits the curb. Conducted takes the lead from it. Patrick BC is going to try to fight back. Won't be enough as Patrick BC gets moved by Crispy Hane. Oh, and he hooks him.
That's what allows CJ Pants.
Here comes CJ.
To get by the both of them.
Mercedes go 1-2. Crispy Hane back to the outside. Side by side. CJ's gonna get it.
Just like that, Patrick VC in one sector goes from P1 down to P4. He had some contact with Conducted, and then Crispy got it down, making contact with him. And that allowed CJ Pants to get by both of them. As I don't think Patrick VC liked that very much. And he's going to look to get back up there, but behind him, you've got Stevie Cat, who wants part of the action as well. Here we go, Crispy. If he's going to dive it down, he does. Dives it down to the inside of CJ Pants.
Makes the move work. The crossover, nope.
CJ Pants is using his overtake button very well.
The top 7 all has 12 lap old intermediates on. And Rowdy has the freshest well actually Crookie has the freshest inters, but his P15, he just came out of pits with them. But Rowdy has 2 lap inters on. So is that going to play an effect with the top 7 if they all pit for the fresh inters?
Alex Sanchez, who was right in front of Rowdy TJ, gets the fastest lap. You know, the top 7 are on 12 lap enters, and then Alex on 7 lap enters. So he has 5 lap freshers than the top 7. Not as much as Rowdy TJ, however, there's a gap 6.3 between those two. Is up front, we've got a 5/10 lead between Conductor and new fastest lap leader, Crispy Hane. As they
a battle
get
for
past,
the lead, Crispy to the
there
inside. Can't make it.
Gonna try get the run off the corner. Back to the gaps. A little bit farther back, looks like Rowdy TJ lost a spot to Matrix. As he's going to go back around the outside.
Oh, and he taps the wall a little.
Just a little bit.
Matrix is going to get the move. Rowdy, TJ back to the outside. They're side by side.
Matrix is good. Stay in front.
Matrix gets
It's
it.
for the lead. Crispy Hang. Again. Driving up to the back of Conducted. Great run through the corner. Crispy Hang. He should get a great run. He would dive down to the inside.
Down to the inside.
And
Oh, contact and Crispy spin. No, he saves it. Keeps it going. As CJ, they're side by side. CJ's gonna not have the ERS to do it. Wow, Crispy keeps it straight.
Great saves. You have to admit, especially in that part of the track, it's very easy to spin around there. And despite the fact that it is raining. Great save.
Crispy did touch the wall a little bit, but that's not gonna give him wing damage. As here comes Seaton, CJ can't do it. CJ has wasted so much ERS along with Crispy Hang. So Conducted has 81%, and he can just maintain the gap. And if he stays on these inters the rest of the race with no safety car, Conducted might be a good one to win this race.
Stevie Cat did pit, so he pit for fresh inters and VSC.
VSC.
Sanchez is out.
Sanchez.
Maybe he got into the barrier? I can't really tell. And he did. He looks like he's spawning out through the barrier. As this is going to help CJ Pants get back some of the ERS that he lost, or that he's used. Patrick VC is going to go to the pits. So you have to wonder. Obviously, everyone else is going to have to pit. Oh,
two drive just been handed out. I did not catch the first one. I'm going to go check.
It was
Rowdy sped under VSC.
Not a great race so far for Rowdy TJ. As we failed to see this, but both. Oh, never mind. Patrick VC pit. And out of the guys who has pitted, Patrick VC does have the freshest inters, so he's got to use what he can. He's gain on the leaders, because knowing the leaders will have to pit. They cannot go 36 laps on intermediate. There's no way. The question now is with Patch for VC, can he survive intermediates and go all the way 20 laps? It's a hard task. Let's see if we can do it. As Wyson and Mason are both McLaren drivers, teammates, both who got drive-throughs speeding under VSC. Hit it as we got a yellow flag, sector 2. Rookie around. Not a good race for him. As for the lead, Conducted a 7/10 or 6/10 gap now over Crispy. And Crispy's gonna lose 2/10 or so. And behind him, CJ Pants 4/10. And you've got Alpay in fourth, 4 seconds back. Harold's right behind him. And then you've got Patrick VC, who pitted for fresh enters. Stevie Cat, Matrix, Rowdy TJ Boy, who still has a sort of a drive-through, and Dominic Square, who, like I said in pre-race, he can stay clean, avoid everything. He would be potential for points. And look, P10 right now, and might even get P9 once Rowdy serves his drive-through.
Oh, and Evil Matrix gets into the grass. It's going to open the door up for Rowdy TJ. Not gonna try. Cannot make the move.
We are now halfway in the race.
Yellow flag sector 2, who was that?
That's Rookie again. It's not a good race for Rookie. As Audi TJ is going to serve his drive-through. This will move square at P9. So as CJ Pants trying to gain
Pit window.
on Crispy. It is the pit window. So the top will we see the top 5, you know, in anytime soon. You know, they can probably make it on inners from here. However, we don't know about Pat VC, as he might not be able to make it on his interest. As Conducted is starting to maintain that gap between him and Crispy Hang. That's about 9/10 of a second. As for P4, Harold trying to look for a move on Alpay. And outside the top 10, you've got teammates battling in the McLarens for P11. But other than that, not a whole lot of battles. It's Harold on Alpay.
Alpay.
And gets a
5-second
5-second
penalty
speeding.
speeding.
That's not what he wanted.
Patch will pass him.
Patch will pass him. Question is, will he come out in front of Stevie? He will. Six-tenths. Stevie Cat gets fastest lap. 7/10 separate top 2. As pass for VC, and at one point I think he was 12 seconds behind the car in front, and he has now brought that down to 9.3 with those fresh intermediates. So maybe he wanted the undercut on these guys, hoping that he can get out in front or, you know, get upright with this battle.
Was Conducted dive it down pits this time. Nope, he stays out. What
Does
about
not.
Crispy?
Crispy does
Oh, there's
not.
a wreck in the back.
There is a wreck.
That's the McLaren.
Bryson. Harold dives down to the pit. After VC could get by him. Does Harold come out in front of Alpay? No. Behind. Might even get behind Stevie Cat. It looks now look like a good stop for Harold. He will come out just in front of Stevie Cat. It's gonna be sketchy. They're gonna come out side by side.
Stevie Cat has the inside.
In contact.
Kept it clean so far as he makes the move. Stevie Cat takes P6 away from Harold. The pit
Dominic
window was
Square.
between lap 19 and 21. Does conducted dive it down this time? It's lap 21.
Square pits, Lewis pits, yellow
Oh, we got
flag,
wreck turn 1. That's crooked.
crookie. Again.
Conducted stays out. Top 3 stays out.
So the only 3 not to pit is your current top 3 conducted, Crispy Hang, and CJ Pants. Alpay gets fastest lap. He's dropped that gap between him and Patrick VC down.
As the gap for 1 and 2 has close to 4 tenths. It was 1 second last lap, but now it's 4 tenths.
So something that is interesting. Patrick VC is going to run about 19 laps on the inters to the end of the race. And the top 3 are on 21 lap inters. So obviously with some VSC laps, and safety car laps, to save the tires a little bit, can Patrick VC take his inters to the rest of the way? Now, he is losing a little bit of time. Maybe a mess up or something. CJ Pants.
Conducted in this
Conducted
time.
down.
Crispy stays out. CJ stays out. And Patch get by conducted.
This is what we coming off the final corner. This is going to be close. I think Patch is going to get him.
No.
Patch is
well,
going to get him.
yes, he will.
Here comes conducted out. Not by much. Maybe about 2-second gap. Maybe just under that.
So that shows that Patch will be able to get out in front of Crispy and CJ Pants. So that Patch will be net P1, conducted net P2, and Alpay maybe net P3.
But conducted is gaining on Patrick VC. Obviously, he's got 6 lap fresh leaders, so the leaders are right with each other. Do they both pit? Does one of them pit? Both stay out. The more they stay out, the more this is going to help conducted. And maybe Patrick VC get a podium. It's farther on back with McLaren's again. Battling. P11 is Harold. Currently sitting P6. Has got a yellow flag. I don't know what that was for. For the leading? No. CJ Pants trying to use all that overtake button he can. Lap 24 out of 20, or 24 out of 36. So, coming out of final quarter, do they pit? Gotta pit sooner or later.
Nope, he stays out. CJ stays out.
Again. How long
Patch
are
has
they
brought
going
that
to stay out? Rookie
55
5 seconds.
seconds.
It's not his day.
Patch has brought the gap down to 9.3 seconds between CJ, but conducted 7 tenths.
On the freshers. So he's looking to try and get around Patrick VC. CJ Pants, he's got a lot of I know he runs a lot of leagues, so he's got some experience. Yeah, he runs a very competitive league in Alpha Racing League. You know,
We have a battle for P3.
we do.
Conducted around
the outside.
the inside.
Or inside, whatever you want to call it. Patrick VC
Now
block.
to the outside. Oh, and he turns him! Oh, and he comes straight back into him. Conducted hits him as they both save it. That's going to cost them so much time. Patrick VC back on Conducted to the inside.
That's going to cost
Make
them
the
a
move.
lot
Oh,
of
and
time.
Conducted. Oh, and that's a yellow flag. That's Crookie back around. And now we have Patrick VC and Conducted more contact.
And this is not what they wanted. They were gaining in the top two very quickly before the contact. But Conducted, we got Crookie who is on the mediums now.
The yellow flag in sector 3.
That's Crookie on the mediums. And it's still on the
it was
mediums.
2. I don't know why.
And he's still on me. You know.
Oh, CJ spun.
CJ's around.
From P2.
Wow. Maybe
Now it's
some
gonna
contact.
let Conducted get to him.
Maybe some
Can
contact.
he make it side by side? Yes. Can Patrick VC get by him too? Yes. Crookie 5 seconds.
And that's interesting because he's now getting passed by several people. Look at Alpeg. We weren't talking about him in the discussion. He's now P4 and he's going to try and get past VC for a potential podium.
CJ has a puncture.
Oh, wow.
His back left tire.
So, he tried 25 laps on the inters.
So what about Crispy now?
That puts in the mind of Crispy. Hey, you just saw CJ Pants. And CJ Pants is going to go to the softs. Is it time for drier tires? It stopped raining.
It is. It's not raining no more. So Crispy might be waiting for that. And we have a yellow flag, sector 3.
You know, that puts into the mind of Crispy Hain, you know. The guy behind you has 23 laps.
He has a puncture. Does he? Front left. Front left puncture for Crispy. Trying to bring in the pits. Yep, front left.
It
7
is,
seconds now.
So he is going to lose a lot of time. Just like CJ Pants. So
Wow,
he's going
6.6 seconds now. That's going to knock him out of podium.
That might knock him out of
get
podium. Now the question is, does Crispy go to the softs? Does he do what CJ... Oh, he's got to serve a 5 second.
Oh, that's going to cost him.
And Patrick VC pits as well. He's going to go to the mediums.
For the mediums. I don't think it's time yet. The water's still kicking up.
Look at these two. And Patrick VC is struggling already on those tires. Bad call. He ruins his chance at a podium. And now look at the podium. It's Conducted, Alpay, and the Herald. CF1 Herald, who just 2 laps ago was sitting P5, was now sitting P3 on the podium spot.
Alpay is bringing the gap down a little. Well, now it's back to 2 seconds.
Now you have to remember, Pastor VC and CJ Pants both went to the drives. Are they thinking that it's going to be dry before the end of the race and could potentially gain on some of these guys that have inters on? As someone spun out. That's crooked. But you have to think, as the track is going to get drier. However, is it enough time for Pastor VC? I don't think it will be. He is continuing to just lose spot. Or not spot, time.
Yeah, I don't want to jinx Conducted, but Conducted is looking pretty good on this final stretch, pulling away from Alpay.
Crispy gets into the grass.
Oh, we have a wreck. Oh, it's just Crispy getting to the grass.
Now, when you brought up wreck, that reminds me, could we have a late race safety car? That could change everything.
It would be nice to have.
Pastor VC is just continuing to lose and lose time. I think that was the wrong call. Pastor VC. There's a gap for the lead, 2.6. A Stevie Cat down pit.
It's not time for the dries. He's on softs. It's not time.
I think he's gonna get out in front of Pastor VC. Yellow flags, sector 2 and 3. I don't know who that is. That Crookie again? And Mason is out. Is that gonna bring a safety car? Looks like maybe not. Looks like they're gonna stay green. And as we're talking about Alpay getting Conducted, Harold was catching Alpay for P2. So the Alpay, or could Harold never shot a P2? But you have to think, some of the guys who took the risk to go on the drive, Stevie Cat, Hatchford VC, CJ Pants. You know, and some guys farther on back. Crispy, yeah, he did take the fastest lap on inters. So, but you have to, wow, the DRS is enabled. That's going to help the guys on the dry tires.
Yeah, but
Question is it's not enough time.
31 seconds back is closest soft runner, and that's Stevie Cat, 31 seconds behind the leader. But does that make Conducted and them want to dive down pits because they feel like they cannot handle the car? I think if I was Conducted, I would try to limp it to the finish, since he has a 31-second gap from a dry runner.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of ARL Tier 2 at Silverstone. Roddy TJ Boy leaves, or has left the session. If you want to invite him back.
Harold takes P2.
Harold does take P2, but this reminds me of ARL Tier 2 Silverstone, when the DRS was enabled, in English, enabled was about 5 laps to go, and some guys needed for fresher tires and beating it, you know, stayed out on the inters trying to pull something. So the same thing goes for these guys here. Do you stay out on the inters you've already made your bed. Do you stay out on the inters or do you try and pit? If you're
Well, the
conduct,
dry.
I think if you're conducted, you have to stay out. Same with Harold, same with Alpine. If you're crispy hang, you've got a decent gap with a yellow flag. Who is that, Lewis? No, it's someone on the front stretch. That's an Evil Matrix. He's gonna dive down to the pits. If you're crispy hang, do you pit here? You've already got a 13-second gap over Stevie Cat, and it's dropping. Do you pit for the softs? Go for fastest lap potentially. Well, actually, he's already got it, doesn't he? I think he
I do
already.
mention Harold 1.7 now was 3 seconds. Now it's 1.7.
He is gaining. Crispy Hang does have a fastest lap. Stevie Cat fastest lap on the softs. So does that, take the attention of, again, Crispy. On the inters, pit for soft maybe. He might be, I don't know how far he'll be behind, but
1.3. And
It
also
is.
another thing to mention is that the closest dry tire runner is 25 seconds back. He's gained 6 seconds in the past 2 laps. It won't be enough for him.
as Harold wants to try and get in the DSR. Lord help me. Square or fastest
Square.
lap. He wants to try to get in the DRS of conducting.
Over yellow flag.
Yellow
Sector
flag.
1.
Green. Maybe the Red Bull. Maybe
Square.
Rowdy Keegan. Is it square?
Yep.
Harold again trying to get. Stevie Cat's gonna take it.
Let's see how much Stevie Cat gains this lap. It's a 20.6 second gap. Let's see how much he can cut it down to this lap. As Harold is in DRS range 8 tenths of a second, now 7 tenths.
He is gonna get DRS here.
Won't be enough to make a move.
It may not. DRS activated.
Wait
Now,
a second. Evil Matrix
Evil
is
Matrix.
gonna give conducted
he's gonna give conducted.
DRS.
Maybe that's not what Harold wants. Oh, conducting messes up a little bit.
I'm gonna knock him out of DRS.
Here comes
Does it?
Harold
Yep,
with
it does.
DRS activated. Evil Matrix fast lap. Look for the clean air. Nothing. 2 laps to go. Again, battle for the lead conducted. Harold, 3/10 of a gap. Stevie Cat has left the session.
Look at this Stevie Cat and Crispy. Stevie Cat. He has a chance for a podium, but it's gonna be really close.
He just lagged out.
Oh, yep, he did. Wow, that's the F. Harold side by side with the lead, dives
There
down
goes
to the
Harold.
outside. Or
Contact.
inside, I don't know. Oh, and he
it
spins him.
spins. No. Harold gained all that time.
Wow.
Put everything he could into it. Just lost it.
Stevie Cat gained 3 seconds so far. He has a chance for a podium. He's right here. He's gonna battle for it. Even if he's lagged out,
Matrix
he
also.
still get a podium.
And he joined back.
Stevie Cat's back in.
Can Stevie
And he's battling.
And
Wow.
coming to the white flag this time conducted. after getting pole, leading most of the race, not all, but for a decent amount of the race. Had a battle, almost had a battle for the win with him and Harold. Sadly, Harold spun out. But Conducted has done everything he wanted to. And CJ Pants, 114. Wow.
Look at this battle for the podium.
We do have a battle for a podium between Harold, Crispy Hang, and Stevie Cat.
Crispy and scratched a little. Oh, Stevie
Yeah.
takes it.
And now
Stevie Cat joined back.
He said he joined back, but
He's gonna take it. There, don't know what's happening.
Harold around
Conducted.
again. Conducted. Going into the final couple corners. He was sitting 5th in points today. With a goal trying to gain points. Coming off the final corner, Conducted will win here at the Netherlands. Takes P1. Now, Stevie Cat gets past Alpay. Stevie Cat could take P2. Alpay, no. Crispy Hane, P2. Patrick VC on the podium.
Wow, didn't even check the
We forgot to check penalties. Wow. So that's Conducted P1, Crispy Hane P2, and Patch for VC, who we thought was out of a shot for podium. He went on the mediums a little bit too early and lost, we thought lost any shot of a podium. And he is going to take P3 off of penalties. Alpay P4. Harold P5, CJ Pants P6, TV Cat P7, Evil Matrix 8, Dominant Square P9. Great points finish for him.
Let's invite the podium and Harold. Let's talk to Harold about what happened with two to go battling for the lead.
We'll leave and Dominant Square driver of the day. We'll save Harold later on.
Or less.
Right now, I want to get the top 3. So let me invite the top 3. So yeah, Conducted, Crispy Hang, Patrick VC. Podium has been invited. Conducted has joined, Crispy Hang has joined, Patrick VC has now joined. All 3 of you guys, please include your audio. Conducted, we're gonna start with you. You got pole by 2/10 over Patrick VC. Obviously you guys had the restart and then had a better, cleaner start the second time by. And you come out, you know, was leading for most, maybe not most, but a decent amount of the race. And brought home the victory. How are you feeling?
I don't know, just feel great. It was a great race. The whole race was just down to the last lap with I don't know who it was, a Racing Point, whoever it was, CF Harold catching me. Then right at the end spinning out. I was quite lucky in the end that he spun out, but yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, we saw him gaining. We thought we were gonna have a beautiful battle, and then it looks like he just got made some contact with you and spun around. What was your view on that? Did he just drive it in a little bit too much and make contact and spun, or what's your take on that?
Well, to be honest, I didn't really feel much contact between the cars. Obviously there was because he spun round, but I think I don't know. It was just an incident, in my opinion. There was not much I could have done. Not much he could have done either.
Very, very true. So, obviously, the race started out raining and rained for pretty most of the race. Towards the end, DRS wasn't able. Did at any point did you think, should I go pit for the softs? Maybe the guys behind me will pit, or did you just want to stay out on the inners, either anyways, and just push for the win?
Well, because I was leading, I just thought I wanted to pit personally. I thought it would have been better to pit, but because the people behind weren't, I just left it. Basically, I was just waiting until they pitted, and I pitted the next lap, but they never did. So I just went to the end on the inners.
Good race for me. Davis, do you have any questions for the race winner?
Conducted. What were you thinking after the first restart? When you had the restart, are you happy the restart happened or what?
I don't know. I didn't really know how to feel. I was kind of happy because of the start. Obviously, the first race was a disaster. But then, when I saw, obviously it was a full wet, well not full wet, full inter race, I wasn't very happy at that point because I wasn't very confident in the wet at all. But it turned out to work out in the end. So I'll take it.
Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Crispy Hang, you brought it home.
Yes.
P2. Off of penalties, on track you didn't quite get it. You had that battle towards the end with your teammate and Alpay. But you did end up getting P2 off of penalties. How are you feeling?
Pardon?
How are you feeling after your P2?
Well, it's good, but the thing is, looking at the penalties, Stevie had a 5-second stop go, which he served, and he dropped positions without a penalty, so realistically he should have second and I should have third. But obviously he's appealing with, but for me to have second, and the strategy near halfway through when I just decided to stay out on the inters, I felt it was gonna be good, but then I had a puncture which basically lost me a bunch of time, and then I got forced on the inters again, so basically I just had to keep going for the rest of the race, and somehow I managed to get a podium still.
Yeah, so obviously, like you said, as of now, P2, a bunch of people are submitting tickets, so all the stewards will take that care of. I'm gonna ask you the same question as I did conducted. Did you feel like at any point towards the end you wanted to pit for fresh softs at the end, or did you just want to stay out on the intermediates? Crispy.
Oh, me? I thought he's gonna.
Yeah.
I thought he was asking conducted, but yeah. Yeah. Well, because Stevie said that the track was getting dry, about 10 minutes of rain, and then I just wanted to keep going, so I didn't lose any positions to the people behind me. In the long run, I'd say that was bad because I got a puncture from it. But I feel like it did help me get a podium today because obviously I had to change my wing and take a 5-second stop go, which would have lost me a lot of positions if I pitted earlier.
That is very true. So, Davis, do you have any questions for Crispy?
Yeah, Crispy, what were you thinking when you got that puncture?
Honestly, it was kind of annoying because I knew I would get punctured, but I was hoping that I'll keep it in to put on the sauce, which I didn't. I got put on inters, but when I got the puncture, I knew I had a gap that I could probably manage even with the puncture, so all I had to do was not spin it, keep on track, and then pit, which I did, and didn't lose too many positions from it.
Congrats on P2 as of now.
Patch for ZC. You started P2. I got the better start, and you got to P1. You know, eventually got chased down. And then towards the end there, you decided to pit a little bit earlier to go for the medium tires, and at first, it wasn't working. Then DRS enabled, and then you started to gain, but you were about P5, P6. So you got P3 as of right now off of penalties. How do you explain your race, and how do you feel?
So from the start of the race, my whole plan was just try to like keep conducted behind me and hopefully like Crispy would like battle him and I could pull away. But that didn't happen. I ended up getting passed and then nothing really happened for me. And then we were like, me and my engineer were like, oh, it dried up, so let's go on the mediums. And I'm surprised it didn't dry up as quick as it did. I really thought it was gonna dry up quicker, but it didn't. And then at the last, I would say like lap 34, I noticed I was getting faster times because the mediums were actually kicking in, and then we ended up getting P3. As of right now, we don't know yet.
Yeah, obviously, we'll see what happens with the stewards. But like I said, you pitted for the mediums a little bit early. Was that your original plan? Did you want to pit for the mediums, or was it just all of a sudden, you thought you saw the track drying up, and you wanted to go and take the risk for dries?
It was just the fact that it dried up, and we wanted to take the risk. And for now, it paid off, but who knows?
Well, Davis, do you have questions for Patch?
When you were leading and you got moved out the way by like I think 3 cars, what were you thinking? Like, did you get wing damage from it? Thought your race was over or what?
I didn't get any wing damage. I wasn't mad because I knew I didn't have the car. But like, I didn't have a car. I didn't have the car to keep it, so I wasn't that mad, honestly.
I can get some P3.
Congrats.
Thank you.
Congrats all 3 of you. As of right now, you 3 are the podium, obviously. We'll see what happens with stewarding. But I think that's gonna end it here. Great race. For pretty much everyone, it was a lot cleaner than the first attempt we had. But thank you guys. Tomorrow at 2:15, you have Tier 3. Tier 3 for GSR. I don't quite know who is commentating that. I think it is Bianchi, and I want to say it's Bianchi, and it might. We don't know who else it is. And then later on tomorrow, Tier 1, at 4 p.m. Eastern time and 9 UK time, for Tier 1. Yet don't know who will commentate that, but thank you everyone for tuning in. We will see you tomorrow. Well, I won't, but you will see